Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and I think I'm going to be live on Instagram. Give me 2 seconds. I got to figure it out. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, how do I mute? I don't have that. Oh, there we go. Oh, guys. There we go. No. Oh, well. Sorry, Instagram. I tried. Yeah, that was weird. I didn't know how to do that. It said the way to mute it, but I guess, yeah, I don't know. All right. Anyway, so if you guys are listening on the Whose Side Are You On podcast side, I apologize. This is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Last night's episode, which was Hey Terry, Fishes in the Sea or something like that. I don't know. Meredith, Monica. Also, let me say all the things too. Make sure you hit the subscribe, like, comment, all that crap. Share this, please. Please hit notifications and hit the all. Also, if you're on the Whose Side Are You On podcast side, please rate the podcast. And if you would kindly, if you're watching this on YouTube, go over to Spotify, Apple, and I think it's Spotify, Apple. You can listen to it on iHeart, but you can rate it on those two, Spotify and Apple. And please give me a 5-star rating. It's seriously, if you don't like me, then give me a bad review, but ratings really help and it keeps me in the loop, keeps them pushing my stuff. I'm not monetized. I don't ask you for any money. Sometimes it'll say, God, this fucking thing is crooked. Sorry. Sometimes it'll ask you to, you'll have to watch the episode first. All you have to do is just hit it for 2 seconds if you don't want to re-listen to it. But I appreciate if you do that. I see people are here, so yeah, we're gonna talk about Salt Lake City last night's episode. And guys, before we get started, I'm starting to feel like I was wrong because I totally, let me drop the link real quick too, just in case. I totally forgot to, I forgot to put the link out to everyone or whatever. But sorry, this fucking thing's sorry. It's gonna be crooked. It's gonna get my fucking nerves. There we go. All right. So yeah, but everybody's here. Thank you. Let me drop the link just in case. Because I said this is an open chat always. And that's what I was gonna say. On whose side are you on podcast side again? I have to say this. If you're listening and not watching, you can come over here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to watch me record these episodes that you're listening to live, where you'll see me and you're also interacting. I'm interacting with a live chat, so I'm not really talking to myself as we're going through the episode. I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to live chat. I'm going to do my best to tell you guys what's going on, repeat everything so you guys don't feel like you're out of the loop. Also, you can go through the thank you. You can go through the chapters, and if you look back on your device, you can go through there's chapters and time stamps and explain it basically, because usually after these episodes I start talking about other stuff, so you can skip through it, go through all the stuff. It basically tells you exactly what we're talking about and when. And let me just get a drink real quick, but I won't do it on camera because you guys always yell at me because I don't use a cup. Oh, this is my Jersey 30 Jersey thing. I drink out of the carton. I won't do it on camera anymore. Oh, thank you. I know. The streaming network is called BuzzFeed or Buzz something. Buzzsprout. They're so good. Where am I at? There you go. They're really good at that stuff. I do have to go in and check the chapter stuff to make sure, because sometimes they don't understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of that. A lot of the they don't understand me. My phone doesn't understand me. It's crazy. It's my Jersey accent. I know that I mumble. I know that I talk a lot. I know that I say things that are so random and stupid, but that's just who I am, and I'm already traumatized over it. That's when I went to I'll tell you guys. I won't tell you now, but it was a whole thing. But anyway, so if you guys are watching the episode, I know Terry, you don't watch it, but I'm starting to feel like maybe it is Monica behind these DMs. See, here again, nothing. She's already behind the ones with Jen Shaw, but I was okay with those ones. You know what I'm saying? I was totally okay when she was doing it to Jen Shaw because she has a reason to do it to Jen Shaw. Jen Shaw screwed her over, right? So I know, right? It feels, yes, it feels like, she feels, I don't know, like she's being cornered almost. The way that she was acting in the end, like the way she was getting mad about Lisa and Monica talk, I mean Lisa and Meredith talking. That's when I started to think, oh my god. And then when they were showing back, like it was her and Meredith talking about the stuff, I'm like, oh wow, like it, I don't know. It's really kind of screwed up. But I guess we'll have to start from the beginning, and just because I feel like, remember we were saying how weird it was for Meredith to be like quiet about it. But like she said, it's a lot to process. Like you guys are throwing a lot at me at that time, right? So like I could get it if you're like, you it's so much to defend where you're like, I'm not even gonna go down this rabbit hole with y'all. Like I'm just not. Yeah, very disappointed. Yeah. I agree, I can't say Mademoiselle. You guys, I can't speak either. No, I get it. Like I feel the same. I feel like, oh, like she was really, she had me. You guys know she did. And maybe she still does. Maybe she still does. I don't know. Because I heard that she did really good at the reunion. So like maybe at the reunion she proves that she's not the one that sends these DMs, right? But we still don't even know what the DMs, we don't know what the account's name is, right? I know what the one is that she said for Jen Shah. Like it's on Dana's Patreon. But anyway, so we start with her and Heather. She calls Heather and they go to walk on the beach, or Heather calls her after they were fighting the night before about the virginity thing and her daughter's sex life and all that stuff. And oh god, I can't wait to get to the Whitney of it all too. Oh, I cannot wait to get to the Whitney of it all, y'all. Like, ugh. But I'm not gonna skip ahead. But just know, Whitney, as much as I don't like Heather, I am coming for you, girl. You thirsty bitch. You thirsty little girl. Like, how dare you? Oh my god. Okay, all right. So, all right, so they go for a walk on the beach. And at this point, they're apologizing about the night before, and she's like, Monica's crying, visit her family, and the whole thing. We still are under the impression that her mom, well, we know now that her mom didn't do that, and it was basically because of filming, because we can see in the future. So we're just going to pretend that we know that already because we've seen the future, right? But she's talking to they're accusing Meredith of all this stuff, and Heather's like, okay, well, I can move on from last night if you can, and she's like, yeah, sure, I can go on. And Monica's always like moving on. She's always like, okay, yeah, I forgive you, you forgive me, I'm sorry. She's always doing that. Like I can give her that. But she starts to explain that like there's a pattern of things that a pattern of Meredith doing this stuff. And she's like, you really think Meredith has a fake account? And Monica's like, this is the thing. Her and I were talking, blah 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 blah. So basically, what I'm gathering from all of this conversation, from what she's saying to Heather again, is that she's not telling her she went out to lunch with Meredith and talked about this. So like basically they talked about it together, right? And then she's like, basically, you said it, and then Monica's like, we both said it, or I don't know. But anyway, so they accuse Meredith, like I said, Heather, they're so hell bent still that Heather's the one that or that Meredith's the one behind the accounts. And she is the one who brought up the husbands. But again, think about it. If Monica was sending Meredith DMs, or somebody was randomly sending DMs and saying Sean's this or Sean's that, again, like Meredith said, I know stuff about the husbands. Well, it's because she got a DM from a fake account, right? So that's that right there, right? So it's not like she brought it up and I see. Okay. Then they have a whole conversation about the whole Greek mafia, and that the whole Greek. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. I thought it was my wrong notes. I'm like, I don't know. I wonder why they're not Meredith needs to come. That's what I thought though. But like, I also don't know, why won't they give us the fake name account? Like, why aren't they giving us that? Do you guys know on social media if they figured it out? Like, or would they give us the DM? Not the DM. I'm sorry, the name of the account, because I know the name of the account on Dana's, right? But and then Heather's like, do you really think Meredith would? Why would Meredith? Spread all these, send just you and her DMs. Wasn't it just her and Meredith that got DMs too about this stuff? And then like, I don't know. It just seems because Lisa had the hot mic moment with Meredith. So then Meredith retaliated last season and talked about her husband and her SLC filings, blah, 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 blah. But that was just in retaliation to Lisa. So it's not like this is not really a pattern of Meredith. It's only happened with Lisa. And then she kind of said it with Sean. I know. That's what I'm saying. Are we missing an entire scene? We have to be missing an entire scene, you know? Right? But anyway, they apologize to each other and blah, 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 and they talk. Okay. Then we see Meredith calling Seth. I still think that Seth is gross. I think that Seth wants to sleep with Justin and Whitney. He was acting really strange at the podcast episode. He was like talking about their sex life too much. It was just so weird. Again, talking about the sex. I don't know. It's just weird. He just talked about sex the whole time, but she tells Seth about how she's being accused of calling or sending all these fake DMs about Angie being a Greek mafia. Angie's in bankruptcy, something like that. Sending DMs about Angie's husband and her, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so she also says that Lisa's also screaming at her and saying, you do this all the time and you have a pattern of doing this and you've been doing this for a long, I don't know. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, she's telling her that, like, she literally, it turned on her, basically. Lisa turned on her. And I don't even understand kind of what's happening, because it's just weird that Lisa's all of a sudden screaming at Meredith about stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, do you really think she just believes? But see, Monica also never said that it was Meredith anyway. They just assumed it, right? Actually, she said it's weird that Meredith called me, and Monica said they called me and asked me if I got these DMs. But and so they're just trying to figure out the timeline. She's like, it doesn't add up. And yeah, it was so weird. No, I don't at all. Madam, I don't think they're faking it at all. I don't. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. I think Whitney's retarded. But so I guess, I don't know, like, Whitney's talking about tennis. What are they playing? Tennis ball? Like, her and Angie going to play tennis or something? I don't know. They're playing tennis and talking about balls and stuff. And when you talk about balls, and she's like to Angie, I wonder if Meredith is the one, sending the DMs or talking about it. And Whitney's like, I believe that it is. I truly believe that. And Meredith, she said that Meredith was acting too calm, and Whitney's like, pretend that these balls are Meredith's face. And I'm like, God, she's so immature. They're like hitting tennis balls or something, her and Angie. And I don't know. Whitney tries to say too also that, like, that Meredith never takes accountability for anything. And then she starts to say stuff about Heather. She tells her, Angie, that she is offended, or how dare Heather get mad about talking about her sex life, but she exploited mine in her book. I'm like, that's the first I've heard of that. It's the first Heather's heard of it, right? I mean, okay. So then Angie's like, huh? So Angie's trying to decipher what the hell's going on. And she's like, I don't know. What is she so offended about? Like, it just seems weird. Like, is she a bad Mormon, or did she just write the book? And then Whitney's like, I don't care. Okay. Yeah, she's like, she exploited my sex slave, or she exploited my vagina, and blah, 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 in her book. And she won't even talk about sex on camera or something like that. And I'm like, Whitney, you are grasping. I don't understand what you're talking about. They say that reference in there. There's somebody backstage. I don't know who it is. I'll try hiding you. And if you're like a weirdo, then I have to let you down. But let me explain what they're referencing when they say Meredith did this or that. They're saying that she sent these DMs, fake DMs, down a fake account that sent them to Monica and Meredith, saying that, Angie's husband's this or that, and that Angie's in the Greek mafia or something, and then Angie's like has she's committed bankruptcy, or not bankruptcy, she's in bankruptcy. Angie is and stuff. I don't know. Hold on a second. Hello. Okay, don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. Anyway, somebody's backstage. I try to call. They didn't say anything. I don't know. I don't recognize the name. Let me see. Something in my private chat though. Hi. Hello. Okay. Let me just tell him I couldn't hear him, whoever it is. That's the thing about, you have to be a subscriber too. I don't want to, like, if it's a subscriber, I don't want to, we'll see if he calls back. Anyway, also, it was supposed to be on Instagram, but I just figured I cannot get it to freaking work. Well, I did get it to work, and then it wouldn't, work. Oh, there you go. That's who that was, but I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. But anyway, we'll move on. But I don't know. Also, I really kind of think that Jen Shah's kind of behind all of this stuff too. Like, it's just crazy that Meredith I feel like Meredith, like I said, is calm because she is confused. She's trying to add everything up. And she's like thinking back, and she's like saying this stuff like, I went for a walk. Like, I went out to eat with Monica, and me and Monica talked about it. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. So anyway, but I just can't believe Whitney's telling Angie this. But then she does tell, I don't think that Heather's faking it. I think Whitney is. I think Whitney's thirsty. I think Whitney has tried every single thing this season to make a storyline in her life. Think about it. She's tried to ban Meredith she's have a problem with Justin. She fights with Lisa. Like, she has tried so hard to make storyline after storyline with each of these women. And now she's going to do this stuff. She's tried with Heather already. I feel like I don't like Heather, but I feel like this was really thirsty of Whitney. Like, to say what she said. But anyway, so then we have Lisa's calling Angie for Monica. And they're going on the boat, getting ready for the boat. Oh my. Not a sprinter van though. They don't get a sprinter van. But anyway, they're going to be put on a boat all together. It's some kind of really nice yacht. And again, we remember what happened every time they're on a boat. That's when Jen shot through AngieK's shoes over. Remember last time they were on a boat? And every time we have a housewives trip and they're on a boat, what happens? You cannot have these women stuck in the middle of the water ever. And now, like with this franchise, we're at the point where we can't even trust these women on boats together. Meredith was saying that, no, what did Meredith do and Lisa? And she just sat there. First, before this episode, she just kind of sat there at the dinner table, looking around saying, I don't recall that. I never repeated it. Or I never said, it was weird. It was kind of like, I don't recall that. I didn't repeat that. Something like that. She was very calm. We're like, what's happening? It seemed like she was guilty. Now she kind of acts like a little calm, right? As they're all yelling at her. But when we get to the boat, it kind of turns around. But she kind of starts putting two and two together. That oh my God, like I kind of think it's Monica behind the DMs. I really do. I didn't before. Absolutely not. I thought y'all were crazy. I thought everybody was crazy not being Team Monica. I'm still not really going to accuse her of it. I just think that it's weird. I just think that it's strange that if it's not Meredith, it's got to be Meredith it's got to be one of the two, right? Jen Shah can't be doing it from prison. And if they would just tell me what the name of the freaking account was, then we would know if that's Monica might have more than one fake account, right? But anyway, so they get onto the boat, right? First, they're in a sprinter van, which is crazy. Like, everybody's just acting like nothing happened. Now, this is crazy. They're all screaming at each other the night before. All screaming at each other. Lisa's screaming at Meredith. They're all screaming at Meredith basically the night before. And now they're supposed to be all on a boat together. So, like, literally nobody's talking. Like, they all get ready. And I'm like, this is so strange. This is the worst time to put a bunch of housewives that are fighting on a boat together. Remember what happened with Atlanta? Portia, when she kicked somebody. And then on RHONJ, twice they got stuck on a boat and like they almost died. They were like, it was like really choppy and stuff, and they were all over the place. And then I think one time on 3 times on Beverly Hills, there was an issue with a boat. Like, guys, we can't be doing this. And then Jen Shah, she threw her last year AngieK's shoes over. Yeah. Last season. Oh, I'm so sorry. They're also saying that she sends DMs under fake names last season too. She said she was doing it last season. And that she was talking about the husbands last season. But all she did last season was talk about Lisa's stuff because Lisa had that hot mic moment at the end of the season prior to that. So they're kind of saying like, oh, you have a habit of doing this. Hey, Erin. And I think she's at work. Erin, when are we doing the Navidad thing? Text me and let me know. Remember doing enormous thing when you get a chance. I know. Merry Christmas, everyone. I don't have my Christmas lights up. I have them outside though. I still have to show you pictures, but yeah. So we're starting to realize now that maybe that it's not Meredith, because once they get on the boat, they all start talking about it again. Okay, and it's like Meredith's like, I'm completely being iced out. I don't. Okay. All right, I'll let you know. Tomorrow might be good. I mean, I only do my hair and makeup on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I guess I could do it too. Anyway, she feels like she's being iced out now. Like, oh, like, see, I don't see Meredith. See, I really just don't think it's Meredith. I don't see Meredith doing this. I really don't. Meredith has no motive to do this. She doesn't, and kind of neither does Monica, unless she wants to be like the most sneakiest housewife ever. To literally go, oh my God! Now, if Monica did this, could you imagine? She'd be literally. It's just so messy. But anyway, like, once they're on the boat, Lisa and Whitney, like, they're trying to, I don't know. They're all coming at Meredith. They all start coming at Meredith. And Meredith and Heather are like, we have a real friendship. And, you know, I don't understand, like, what did you get yourself into? And Meredith's like, I didn't do this. Heather, I didn't do this. And Heather's like, you really got yourself in some shit this time. And Meredith's like, I didn't do this. She's like, I never called Angie. I never sent any DMs about Angie's husband. I never sent any, any proof of any kind of like bankruptcy in their life. I didn't say anything about Sean. And she's like, the weird thing is, everything that we're saying is everything that me and Monica talked about when we went out to lunch. And then all of a sudden, Monica's like, huh? And they're like, and Heather's like, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, it's just, I find it funny that, me and her go out to lunch and she brings up and asks me all these things about Angie's family. And, we like, is she really a Greek mafia? And they say they looked it up or something. And it's like, this is starting to be like, oh my God, Heather's starting to realize, holy shit. It can only be Lisa or Monica. I mean, Monica or Meredith. And it doesn't seem like it's Meredith, because the way Meredith is explaining it. Then she starts to ask Monica about it. Like, they go to ask Monica. And Monica's like, I don't understand. Like, she's like, you and I had this conversation and you said she was in the Greek mafia. And Meredith's like, I never said that. And she's like, you're twisting my words. What I understand is that Monica twisted the whole thing. And instead of Meredith getting to everybody first, Monica did. It made it sound like it was Meredith. I don't know. But I just don't want it to be this mastermind Monica. Because, I mean, she's already got a lot of drama. She's already a good housewife anyway. Because, like, she is just, a whole thing with her ex-husband and the fiance. I mean, I'm sorry, and the mistress. And, of course, like, the boat thing is like, a whole thing where like Lisa's even screaming at Meredith at one point. But by the time we get to the end of the boat, everybody's conflicted. People are starting to kind of like believe Meredith. Lisa and Meredith were screaming at each other, like Mademoiselle said. And it was like, they were really like, she's like, you're not my friend, and blah, blah, blah. They were really like screaming at each other. Meredith's like, you know what? I am sick of this, and I didn't do this, blah, blah, blah. But then you see Monica start to get very quiet. And it's like Monica's starting to realize, holy shit, I did this game so well, I thought. But now I'm starting to get caught, because now they're starting to put 2 and 2 together. And then you kind of see Meredith on the phone with somebody. And it's like she's calling like some kind of like security place to find out who did these DMs, right? That's my take. And I think she tells Lisa the same thing. And I think on the bus when Monica saw them talking, she was showing her that she was calling this like some kind of security firm or something to like go through the DMs. You know what I mean? Sorry, my lighting is really bad. I'm probably keep this one short, guys. This one, I'm getting like annoyed. I don't want to sit here anymore. I can't sit still as it is. But yeah, so they're getting ready for dinner, and I can't take Meredith's outfit. She always wears like a blazer suit outfit, and it just reminds me of the Deb shop all the time. And I don't know why I keep saying, she reminds me like she would give you like a dusty bowl of bugles if you walked in our house and some RC Cola. There's nothing wrong with RC Cola. I just feel like Meredith has like dusty jewelry. I don't know. The word dusty comes to mind now because I guess somebody called her Dusty. I think it was like somebody said her jewelry was dusty. I think it was Angie. I don't know. But they go to this place called, so anyway, they go back on the stupid, bus, and they see, really, I don't see them wasting their time like that either. Bravo's thing. He says, yeah, Bravo. Steele from Bravos does. And now Steele's from like my area. They're from Philly, right? So they're from like my area. So it's weird to him, and I would disagree on this. Because I don't think she wastes her time either. Because we're like, we're kind of like her. We don't waste our time on shit like this. There's no point in it. There's no point in it. You know what I mean? Like Meredith has more other stuff that she could. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't serve her to do that. She doesn't want to take down anybody, or she would have just said it out loud. Like, it's just strange. It's not like she made anybody aware of the DMs. Monica did. It just, I don't know. And then again, when they showed us this trailer, they made it seem like these two, they made it like a whole package. They made it seem when they were like, what did you do? What did you do? And Heather's like, I found out. And they made it seem like it was all, they really kind of made it seem like it was all Meredith. But I really think we find out that it's Monica. I really do. Either that, or I'm telling you, when Heather does that, starts screaming at her in the next episode, when they show her like, oh, we found out who she really is, we're going to expose her. I think she only finds out that she was the one who didn't pay the bill. I don't know if she finds out about the damn thing. We might never find out about the damn thing. I need to know the name of the damn, though, or the name of the account, the Instagram account. I wonder if anybody knows. Anyway, so they get to this restaurant called Bermuda Blue, which I'm like, I love this place. I want to go to this place. It looks really good. I'm not a fish eater or anything, but like, I don't like, I can't eat seafood, but this place looked really good, and I would have definitely. And it just sucks because I feel like every time Monica makes go with these ladies, something goes wrong, and it's like, I thought it was out of her control, but I also feel like she wasn't lying about. Now we know she wasn't lying about her family, but I feel like she just knew that the camera was the issue. She just didn't. I don't know. I guess she wanted to blame her mom, and I think it was for attention. Like, I'm starting to turn on her. Not turn on her. I'm just a little like disappointed. Like you guys said, I'm disappointed. But they get to Bermuda View. They're all taking selfies, which is nice because they all look really pretty. There's nothing like getting like off the beach or off a boat. You're all tan from the day. You all have like fresh sunburn, but you look really cool. You get a shower and you're all like fresh and you look really nice. And you go out to eat like on a deck place like that. That is my ideal like selfie thing. It's like a shore thing, I guess. I don't know, maybe. But that was like my ideal type of night, But then it always gets ruined, and it's like they didn't even try to play a game. They tried not to play a game because they said it always ends in madness, and it does. And they also talk about how many selfies that Whitney has, and Whitney's like 7,000 selfies. And before they even did it with Lisa, I was like, oh my God, Lisa probably has so many more. And they're like, Lisa, how many do you have? And she's like, 20,000. And I'm like, oh my God, guys, I have like 0. I don't have really any selfies. My whole freaking, all of my photos are of these guys, like all my thumbnails and stuff. But yeah. But anyway, so they're talking. Hello, and I'm like trying to make this one a little bit shorter because I'm antsy today. I can't sit still. It's really bothering me. I'm having a hard time sitting still. But I just feel like Then Heather's talking about the paralysis in her face. I didn't, and how she started college with paralysis. I guess she had, or I don't know what she did. Something about paralysis. I guess she had that. What's it called? The Bell's palsy maybe. But I don't think it was from Botox and stuff. But I do like them, talking about Lisa and Meredith when they were apologizing and it was pissing off Monica. That's when I started, like I said, I started to turn a little bit. I'm like, Monica, what did you do? Did you really do this? Like, did you really set this whole thing up? Are you really a mastermind? Like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I just, I feel like I don't think Meredith would waste her time. But talking about Jack's mission and seeing, I know, right? Yep, that we don't ever want to see. Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, Meredith, why would she waste her time? But, I really would like the dinner to go well because I feel like, Monica keeps trying, but she got real quiet after all of this started to come up. If you guys are not subscribed to Reality Diamond, Freddy from Reality Diamond, please go subscribe to his channel. I will in the description probably put his information. If he doesn't put it in the chat for us, I will make sure I link it in the description, because he does everything. He talks housewives, and he's really, really good with Beverly Hills, and he keeps a lot of receipts. And he gets a lot of the same receipts. He did the same receipts I get out of Dana's Patreon. Freddie, tell them how amazing it is. How amazing Dana's information. I believe Meredith, you do? You really do? So Freddie thinks that oh my God. Do we know the name of the account? That's what I want to know. Because we know that we have the other account, right? That Monica admits to, or hasn't admitted to yet. The ones that she sent about Jen Shah. But people they're not saying that they're the same. I would think that Meredith was to be like, oh, well, the same account was talking about Jen Shah too. They didn't say that though. But so I really do feel like too, he is, isn't he? I also feel that but see, what also would be Meredith's? Well, you think it? So you think producers had something to do with it too? Really? Awesome. I'm on my way back in school. I don't know about myself either. I don't think I have a lot. I not anymore. Because I just use my Instagram used to be like my private Instagram. So now it's my just yeah. If you ever want to see like selfies of me, I go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, scroll all the way down. We learn from the best. I'm excited to have him come in anyway. So now that gives me a what's it called? Motive to stay, because I feel like Monica kind of could be a mastermind, but she just looks very guilty after they were talking about, trying to figure out the timeline and Meredith and how they went to lunch, and that's how her and Meredith actually really talked about it. But the only people did they really just send those DMs to just those two people? That's what I'm saying. And I want to know the name of the account. It's making me mad. But when Whitney and Monica are getting their hair done. Again, I have this. That's what I'm saying. Did she have anything on Lisa? Did she say anything about Lisa? But see, Lisa's screaming at her about the stuff from last season, but see, she has a reason to, say that stuff about Lisa last season, because Lisa did it to her in a hot mic moment. So that's not really, I can't really say Meredith has a pattern of doing it, because she did it just to Lisa to get back at her. It's not like she's done it to anybody else. And she said something about the husbands, because I think she got the DM about Angie, and that's why she said it, but she probably shouldn't have. But it made her look even more guilty, even though she made herself look even more guilty last too by not saying anything. But I think she was kind of trying to get her bearings and be like, oh my God, did I say that? Or I know I didn't send this DM, but maybe, Monica and I conversation, maybe she did it. Or maybe, I don't know. Monica could be a real mastermind where we would never find out who actually really did it. But I don't know why Monica would do it either. She's trying to constantly, but see, all housewives have so does Lisa though. With Mary, Meredith is the only one that didn't do that to Mary. You know what I'm saying? And I think that everybody else kind of did. Yeah, that could be true too. I mean, well, see, when they were doing that trailer, showing the mid-season trailer, when they were trying to show these scenes, they made it seem like it was Meredith, but that was totally two different episodes. They just ran together with the trip and made it seem like all of it was one, because I think now they've established, by the time they find out who did it, they established that one of them wasn't. That it wasn't definitely I don't know, Meredith, because I really don't understand if they know who's, I don't know, they're not showing us the name of the account. But anyway, what happened with Jack? Does anybody know? Somebody said he was in the hospital. He's on his mission, right? I hope he's okay. But I thought the dinner was going to be okay until, I don't know. So they were all taking selfies and stuff, right? So all of a sudden, Whitney's like, I have a bone to pick with you, Heather, or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, what is she going to, I'm like, is she really going to say this to her? Because I'm like, what did she say to her in the book? What did she say about her in her book? I thought she was saying about her and Justin maybe, but no. So all of a sudden, they're taking pictures, and I guess, I don't know, we're taking a little bit like sexy pictures or something. And Heather's like, I'm not doing that or something. And she's like, I'm something about like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And when he's like, well, how dare you act very, he's probably sick. Yeah. How dare you act like you don't want to talk about your sex life, but you exploited mine and you exploited me in your book. And Heather's like, what? She's like, I did what to you? She's like, you exploited my sexuality in your book. And Heather's like, where? What? She's like, I talked about the first time we met, and I was taking pictures for you, and you had like a bustier or something on. And it's like, no, you exploited my sexuality in your book. And Whitney's like, that's all she has. And Heather's like, no, this is what happened. We had a conversation. And Heather's like, Whitney's like, no, stop deflecting. You know what you did. It's crazy. I was like, Whitney's like, you know what you did. And Heather's like, I'm telling you what's in the book and what it says. And that is not what you're saying. What you're saying is I exploited your sexuality, and that's not what I did. And then she's like, Heather gets up, and I thought she was getting up to fight her. She made it look like that. She was trying to get past her to go out the door to leave because she was getting pissed, and I don't blame her. I don't blame Heather for being mad. Whitney's like way off base with this one. This is a thirst. I'm like, Whitney, you are so thirsty. What are you talking about? By the time Heather gets out of the bar, it looks like she's going to fight her. They're all trying to get away. They're making it look like Heather's going to fight her. Heather leaves. She's telling them to leave me alone. Leave me alone. Get me away from her. Leave me alone. Because listen, I would too. I would be like, lady, what are you talking about? This is what happened. I literally put this in my book. If that you don't consider that, you knew it was there. You told me to take one thing out, and I did. She's like, where else did I talk about your sexuality? So then she leaves, right? Whitney chases her. First, she thinks like Heather's going to fight her, and she's like, oh my God. Then she starts to chase Heather, and she's screaming the same thing. You know what you did. You exploited my sexuality. Heather's like, I don't know. Get away from me. She's telling the producers to get her away from her. And then Whitney's like, you exploited my vagina in your book. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, okay. Maybe he just has some kind of, yeah. Here's a little judgy cat. Come here, judgy cat. Come here. Sterling Murray. Where's your Christmas dress? Here. You're on camera. Where's your Christmas dress? All right. Well, she doesn't have her Christmas dress on, so sorry. Anyway. Yeah, she started chasing Heather, and I couldn't freaking believe it. I was like, oh my God, Whitney, you are drunk. Sorry, she does not have her Christmas dress on. Okay, why don't you have her Christmas dress on? Tell me. Give me kisses. Give me kisses, Mama. Yeah. Anyway, they have matching Christmas dresses, by the way. Judge cat. Yeah. Yes, then I agree. I'm like, Whitney, what a way to freaking like, I don't know, like, you're not totally enough to see, Mama. Can't see you. Yeah. When she said you exploited my vagina, I'm like, she did what, Whitney? You're crazy. Like, you just sound stupid. At that point, I would have been like, lady, I would have tried to fight her too. If I were Heather, I probably would have fight her. I punched her right in her face. Like, you just kept screaming. Sorry, I wouldn't punch nobody in the face. I'm sorry, take it back. I wouldn't punch nobody in the face. Okay, sorry. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because I don't have to leave you. I would go to jail and leave you. I'll never leave you. Okay, I'll never. Yeah. Anyway, she's supposed to have her Christmas dress on. I told her not to come here. So she had her. They refused to put them on. Okay, her and Honey and Sweetie Marie have matching Christmas dresses. Sterling Marie, Sweetie Marie, and Honey have matching dresses. Okay, and I'm going to take pictures when we're done. in front of the Christmas tree, right? Yeah. But anyway, so I could imagine they're fighting. They're fighting. But see, the thing is, Whitney's trying to just, I don't know. Whitney told her to shut the fuck up the night before. Then Heather makes her apologize, and Heather does. And I mean, Heather makes Whitney apologize for telling her to shut the fuck up. Whitney apologizes, and she's like, I don't know. My best friend just died, and she's like, she tried to get it with Lisa. She's like, Lisa wasn't there for me. Lisa, you weren't there for me. You weren't there for me. You weren't there for me. You should have hugged me first, and blah blah blah. And then at first it was Justin. Justin was the worst husband ever. God forbid he goes back to work, and then he doesn't help you with the fire alarm or the bacon. Cooking 4-course meals on a breakfast morning when the kids got to go to school. I'm telling you. Oh, I have toe beans. I have to show you my pictures for you. But I was like, I know every time I see their paws, I look at them. I'm like, they have them. Hi, Mama. Anyway, but I just feel like, yeah, that's retarded. If I were Heather, I would be done with Whitney at this point. Because at this point, Whitney just ruined her. She ruined it for me. I don't like her anymore. I was just like, that's ridiculous. I don't like Heather either. But that just proves to me how thirsty you are. She tried to go for Monica. She said, Monica, remember, Monica's the one that said it out loud. Monica, you said this on camera about Angie's husband. She tried to fight with her. It was Justin first. He was the worst husband ever. Then they go to Meredith's podcast, and he's the best husband ever. And then then that's over with. She's talking about the ring. He doesn't wear his ring, and he's back to work, and she doesn't want to work, and he doesn't help her. And I'm like, girl, stop. Like, just stop talking. Then it's that's Meredith screaming, Meredith, how dare you, it's you, you're guilty. I believe Monica. And then now it's, Heather, you exploited me in your book. I'm like, you exploited my vagina. Heather's like, I literally said that I was taking a photo shoot, and I was doing a photo shoot with you, and you look sexy, and something like that, or something. And I'm like, how does she get that out, exploiting her vagina? Sexuality and vagina. Heather was her, I don't know, photographer, right? I'm confused. I'm not confused. Whitney, you're just thirsty. It's just bad. And then I don't, and it's like a deflection now. And I'm like mad because I don't want to forget about the DM thing. I want to know whose DMs they are. I want to know the name of the account that's sending the DMs. Wish somebody would tell us that. Because why did they have to block it? Bravo. Because it was you guys, probably. Maybe Freddy's right. Like, maybe he's right. Maybe it literally was the producers and Meredith, because no, they're not showing us the DM's name, the name of the account, And that's kind of crazy. If you're going to tell us that there's all these DMs that are going to cause all these problems, I want to see who's the name on the account. Let us do our investigation. Bravo. We are Bravo sleuths. We will figure it out in no time. You know what I mean? Like, let us know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out real quick. Come here. What? Go get your dress on. It does. I'm like, I investigate that shit because, listen, I think that's what Meredith did. I think Meredith called an investigator. I think that's what she was showing Lisa on the bus. And I think that, I really do think that they were talking about, I think Lisa and her made up on the bus, or we missed the whole scene. I thought Heather was going to get physical. I know, but see, she did, but she was trying to leave. You realize then she was actually trying to leave the doors behind Whitney. And then if Whitney thought that too, why did she chase her? But I did. I thought she was going to fight her too. But I'm like, no, Heather, no, Heather, no, Heather, no, don't do that, Heather. Heather, that's bad. Heather, don't do that. And I'm like, oh, God, she's trying to leave. And she just trying to get him away from her, which, again, I don't know. That's a thing. I said you exploited my sexuality in your book. And why is this the first time you're talking about it if it's such a problem? And when he's like, you exploited my sexuality in my vagina. And Heather's like, you're fucking drunk and crazy. Get the hell away from me. She was like, I am done with you. If I were Heather, I'd be done with her too. Why? Go get your dress on. Tell your dad to put your dress on, please. George is home. That's why I'm probably going to keep this one short. But we put our tree up and stuff finally. Oh my God, Heather in a heartbeat. I think Whitney's scrappy, but I think Heather's a beast. I think Heather's a big girl. And I think not fat, not big, but I think she can I think she would hit Whitney once and she would fall to the ground. I think Whitney's very thin and little, and I think she might be scrappy, but I don't think she's heavy. I think she's thin and light, so I think she'd be knocked over very quickly. You know what I mean? I think Heather could have her down, and I don't think she would be able to get. I think Heather would probably be able to hold her down. You know how you hold somebody's arms down? I just think she'd be able to do that. She does. Oh, maybe. I don't know. She went to one class, right? I don't know. I just felt like that was proof of how thirsty she is. She tried to fight with every single one of them this season, and none of it worked. It was all stupid. It was all dumb. But I think some people took Christmas break this week from doing this. I thought about it because I need to get this room painted. They're gonna get up here soon. I'm kind of impatient, wait for the contractors to get up here because I hate my background and I want to change it. I want the way it's going to look when they're done. But I'm being very impatient. You guys know, if you guys don't know, you know I have an issue painting my house. I've stopped and done it like 4 or 5 times in the last 2 years. Just painted my living room dyeing a different color. But oh, here comes Freddy. Freddy, Reality Diamond Freddy. Hold on. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
I'm so happy to see you here.
Yeah, good to
Finally.
see you too. And just to clarify, I find a lot of my own dirt. I don't need Dana Wilkie all the time. I find, so I'm good at researching. I mean, we share a lot together though as well in terms of like tea and of what's happening, what we know. But yeah, with Salt Lake City, I think Meredith's behind it personally with the messages, like with Whitney, with Lisa Barlow last year. Meredith seems to be so close to it all the time, and it's a bit too much of a coincidence. She is, and based on the fact with all the Angie things, we didn't really know much about her, what was happening, and because they weren't getting on, I think the producers were like, Monica's sort of doing a lot. We need to be showing other elements of what's going on, because it's just going to seem like we're only looking at Monica's life. We're not doing other things.
True.
So I think the producers said, right, Meredith, you're not getting on with Angie Castavanas anyway. So what we think you should do is, because you're an expert at this, is like sort of get someone like Monica, who's a bit sort of like wants to really try and make an impact on this show. Tell her these like rumors about Angie. So you're sort of setting, starting to paint a picture, sowing the seeds, if you will, and then DM her and on a fake account and make her think it's this anonymous person. And that way she will then start talking, and then she's going to want to talk about it. And Meredith, this is what Meredith does. She never actually says the things. She sows the seeds and makes the people, the vulnerable, the gullible, like Monica, your Whitneys, to then say the information. That's how Meredith operates. And I think that is probably why Meredith does make pretty good TV and has been behind a lot of the storylines of Salt Lake City. And I think if she wasn't around, would Salt Lake City have been renewed? I think Lisa Barlow and Meredith are the two key people of this show. They've been carrying it. They carried it for the first 3 seasons.
True. I just don't. I mean, do you think so? Like, they're gonna find out that, like, so do we even know the name of the account?
I want to look into that. Actually, I've not looked into it, but I want to. I'm gonna try and find out somehow.
Yeah,
I might have to speak to some of my Salt Lake sources to.
It's crazy, but it's like because I really feel like your theory could be true because they're not showing us. Producers aren't showing us the name, so if they're behind it, there's a reason why. Because why would they hide and block the name of the account and not just show us?
Yeah, because let's remember with Angie, with Angie Harrington's husband Chris, they showed the name of that account, and they talked about and Jen Shah talked about the name of it. Yet they don't want to reveal the name of it.
And we found we found out that it was Monica's behind the one with Jen Shah. That the name. So Dana has the name of the account. Remember, she was getting all the things sent about Jen Shah's assistants and all that.
Yeah, she was the one that, she found the name.
Account. But I wonder if that's the same. If it's that, I mean, I wonder.
No, I don't think. Yeah, she found out the
what the name was.
She found the name of what this account.
Well, no, like so. Monica was sending out all these DMs to all these like Dana last year, all these content creators saying all the stuff about Jen Shah's assistant, showing her Jen Shah screaming at her assistant, and all the stuff about Jen Shah. So, I mean, then we find out that
it's a different
one. Okay, so I'm like
one. I mean, I'll double check again because Dana's in England.
I mean, that would be too easy for us to find out. If we already know that Monica's that name, then the producers would screw that up by letting that out. Because I don't even know how Dana found that out, but I didn't think it was that much of a secret.
I do think you've got to question why aren't they saying the name, and I think it's maybe the producers are part of this account.
I also believe that the producers are behind some things that I know they're behind something in Jersey. They're definitely behind a rumor in Jersey. They definitely started a rumor in Jersey. They definitely have done some things.
Oh yeah, they're always sowing the seeds.
They want to go home.
They do. I mean, I think they're sort of lobbying Kim D to be, getting involved. She's being a big flip-flopper at the moment. I mean, she was like first. She was friendly with David Yontev, doing podcasts with him. She was like, John and Rachel Food are like the worst people in the world. She falls out with David, then changes her tune and is like, oh yeah, I love him. I'm now interviewing John Food. And it's like, what's that about? That just doesn't make sense. And I'm sorry, you can't tell me. It's not like David Yontev put a gun to, her head and said, you've got to hate them.
No. And it's the thing. It's like, I feel she's getting pulled. She was a very trustworthy, she always heard she knew what she was talking about. There's a lot of things she didn't say, right? But I feel like she's getting pulled in so many different directions.
And then with Margaret, she's like, oh, I hate Margaret. Now she's liking Margaret. Then she's not liking her again. And it's like, you both follow each other. You and Teresa follow each other.
Yes.
And I just think it's like
she's getting pulled by all of them.
With Andy recently and Dolores. I think there's something going on we're not being told about.
Well, I think that a lot of people are making promises to her that.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the posh fashion show, that was very good for her, business-wise, when she was on Housewives doing that. Obviously, when you leave a show like Housewives, your sort of followers die. Obviously, they didn't have Instagram then, but you're not getting the same recognition. You don't have people following what you do as much. So she knew that the House was a fantastic platform for her brand Posh. So she's going, well, if I get back on Housewives, or if they do an episode where the Posh fashion show is on it, that's going to give me traction and my business more profits, more sales, more traction, etc.
Yeah. I think the thing is that she's good. I think that she should be okay. I mean, I don't know if should be satisfied because she does really good with her Patreon. I mean, basically, I realized that she was the show with David Yontev because they basically now everybody followed her there. I don't know
but the thing is,
they're turning on her.
She was on her. She gave her a true perspective when she was on David Yontev. But now she's doing the patron.
Yep.
He's just flip-flopping. And I'm sorry, for me, I'm just not spending money on a patron where people where people are going to flip-flop.
And it's hard, and I feel like it's with Kim. I
give reasons why, and I agree with that person's comment. I mean that the whole thing with the car a few years ago doesn't make sense.
Oh man, her car, ugh.
That suddenly went on flames and someone was in it,
Yeah, somebody borrowed it.
There is a lot. I mean,
but she should just stay away from. This is what I do. She should stay away from talking about Jersey. Because that is where she gets herself in trouble. Because like me, you get pulled. You do feel like your friends are with this on your, because she does know a lot of things. She does feel like certain people. She can't be real honest about it. But if she's going to do this, she's got to stay away from talking about Jersey. because she's too interconnected with him, and it's going to cause her problems in her real life, like it always does. Kind of her, like
her situation. She's Mimir's right. There is some evidence to suggest that she could be a part of it. Why do you think John Fuda did the interview with her? He could have done it. He could have done that with a bigger person like Up and Adam, who's got like more subscribers, for example, Campire. He could have done it with either of them, but he chooses to go to Kim. And with the rumors about Kim, if that's true, she would give him better questions and would potentially maybe have more of a control on what would be asked than someone else.
Well, see, the thing is, like her ex guy was kind of connected, but he's not no longer with us. Like he's up in heaven. But like there's also a thing like they're not really a mob anymore, but they still have the mob mentality. Like a lot of those guys have that mob mentality. So she is very kind of connected, but I think that it's in the past. I mean, it is kind. I don't even talk about the car situation. Yeah.
It's debatable, but yeah.
But it's kind of. I think she needs to stop talking. It's hard for her to talk about Jersey because she has Teresa. She wants to be friends with. She wants them to like her. Then she got, the whole thing with Fuda. I think he went on her podcast because she talked so much crap on him, and I think he wanted to be like, in front of her, in front of me, like, look, this is the story. This is what happened. You said this, and I don't like. I really do feel like once she met John and Rachel, she did like them. So then, what is she going to really?
But I think she really flop before that. I think what could happen to her if she doesn't watch it, she will get into a Kelly Dodd situation where you're like talking so much crap about anyone, and you're. But I think the big thing is where she directly compares to Kelly Dodd is Kelly Dodd kept saying, Shannon told me this of what's happening. And it's like, they're your friends. Yeah, you can say a source told me this or whatever. You can't dog people out and then think they'll still be friends with you and that they're going to tell you stuff. If you're saying it's coming from them, they can get in trouble. They're not meant to be telling you that, but they are being a confidant, and you're sort of exposing that. And the issue with Kim is, well, she's not saying, like, we know when she gives things who it's probably from. We get very big hints. And I think that what a lot of them could turn around and go, well, actually, that's implicating me, and it's quite clear who's told you that.
Yeah, and I also feel like I'm glad she did her Patreon and she put a lot of money into what she's doing, and she looks like she's making her money back. But like you said, a lot of people are starting to get mad at her for this whole flip-flopping thing. And again, there's a lot of stuff with, I don't know if she doesn't talk about Jersey. It's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like people want her to talk about it, but not have, what she's doing. And it's like I said, it's going to be hard. It's hard for her to talk about Jersey. That's why it's kind of, I don't want to either, because I feel like, she that what people see on TV or what they hear, and then what she knows in real life, or then she's got, like you said, she got real relationships for these people, like real relationships, like with Dolores, So
that's the thing is, like,
you can't be on Teresa's side at all. You cannot be. You just can't, which is not around here. Not if you want to be friends with these people and talk about it. You cannot be you cannot be on Teresa and Louis' side at all. You cannot.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be friends with the fooders, you can't be friends with Teresa and Louis. It's all that type of vice versa stuff.
They had to stay in a separate. Teresa and Louis had to stay in a separate hotel from the rest of the cast because it was so bad. Think about it. You cannot, it's bad. He's a really bad, toxic person. It's not even Teresa. It's him. It's like, it's a shame. So it's that toxic. I mean, you got to just you can't talk about, you're going to have to just not be on Teresa. If you want to.
I'm just still not sure on Louis. We've heard a lot of the things, but, when it came to the whole stuff with Vanessa, at the end of the day, there was no evidence found that was, and it got dismissed in court.
But listen, he admitted that he did that, though. He admitted it, but he turns it around and said he wanted to know if she was talking about him. That's why they sent this person, that patient there. And then the judge, somehow this judge sided with him and said, you're psychotic, Vanessa. You talk about him all the time. I'm dismissing it in family court, blah, blah, blah.
But then there was other things of other exes that she had that weren't Louis.
I believe they're both obsessed with each other, right? I think they were in such a toxic relationship because he's a narcissist. And I think she was very effed up by him. And I think the ultimate thing for him to do is to be with somebody to get back at her that's going to be on national TV.
Yeah.
So of course,
I think both of them don't add up on what they've said with things.
No, I think they're both obsessed with each other still. I think
they sort of deserve each other in a way.
They kind of do. And it's like, Teresa, I feel like this makes Joe look like an angel for Teresa to me. I feel like Joe.
Joe's not. Everyone knows Joe and Melissa are not trustworthy.
Not those two. Not that Joe. I'm saying Joe Giudice. I feel like Joe Giudice was even though they committed crimes together. That wasn't the first time they committed mortgage fraud. It's the only time they got caught. So he really was not that bad of a guy compared to what Louis is.
Well, there's lots of lawsuits on Louis.
Because he's a freaking grifter. I'm telling you.
So what's going to happen there is, that's going to catch up with him at some point. It might not be next month. It might not be next month. It might not be next year, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, he's a weird dude, a scary dude, a weird dude, just like very. I just really never expected that. He is something else, man. I did not see this.
And he's got this Instagram. He's got this motivational Instagram account that he does with his son. I don't know if you've seen it. And it's like these things, and they're like, yeah, you've got to believe in you and all of this type of.
I have one where he sounds drunk, and he's like, you know what I do for my family? He's like, comes home and you see Teresa and the girls in the background, the Giudice girls. And he's like, what I do? And he's like all red in the face. And I'm like, I can tell he's been drinking, blood pressure's up. He's like, I do my family. And he's all like slurring his words, my family. And he's like, I love you, Gia. And he's like, I work for my family. And he's like, I love my family. I love you.
It's called Men of Legacy. That's what it's called. It's Men of Legacy.
Oh,
and
God.
He goes, and it's sort of like all the inner peace, and it's like, think of our thoughts and emptiness inside, those types of things.
Fights with himself about who he wants to be and who he is. Who he wants to be is this great guy that's namaste, and he wants to not be this, and he wants to be successful, and he tries, but he fights himself because that's not who he is. Really, he's just
So you think he's someone who's internally fighting with himself?
Yes, I think he's got a severe issue with fighting with himself, because he really does try, but he just doesn't know how to shut his mouth. He wants to be something else, but he doesn't know how to get there. So he just, to literally get somebody to look up stuff on the entire cast. You decided that we weren't cool before we were even cool. And then you do that, and then we all be cool with you, right? And then we find out this stuff, and it's like, why did you do that, dude? And it just makes it weird. It makes it and then he lies about it, and he gets caught, or no pajamas.
That was creepy, and I don't even though he'd never worn them, it's just why would you say that? What made you think that would be that would make Joe would? You're not making him mad. You're just creeping him out and probably making him want to lock every single lock he has on his house, car, whatever.
He feels safe. And I'm like, so his no-nos BALLS were in those pajamas. Then Louis puts his BALS those pajamas, and Teresa touched.
That's what he made it sound.
Gross.
That was the implication.
You don't wear underwear when you wear pajamas, I don't think, right? Come on, man.
That's just weird. I wouldn't want to wear someone else's pajamas.
How does it make them feel safe and warm?
And it's but they're new. He never wore them.
So he says. Then she says it's a new pair that he had. I said, Well, then that statement makes no sense because he never seen them in the pajamas, so nobody would feel safe and warm in a random pair of pajamas.
That was just that's the bit. It just doesn't
Weird.
make sense.
And he's like, "Oh, Bo Deedle, Bo Deedle, Bo Deedle," and it's like,
why would you again? It's this. Why would you bring your sources up? Like Bo Deedle's got a lot of interesting connections as well. Like I would not.
He doesn't know how to shut up. And it's like, dude, you would be a cool dude if you would just stop talking about it. Like, stop saying the shit that you do. Like,
And this is where Louis's worst enemy. He can't shut up. And is going to get to a point, he's going to reveal something that's he's going to implicate himself in, and there's going to be bad consequences.
Well, look at it. He took every relationship that was bent in her life. Like, she had a little bit of an issue with a little bit of everything, right? But they weren't all broken. Her and Joe, she's still trying, still up to the day of her wedding, crying about Joe being in the wedding. She was okay. I don't even, nobody knows what she was mad about. And then he just takes it and he just freaking took everything she said and starts screaming at her about Joe's a piece of shit and blah, blah, blah. This is the day before the wedding. And he's screaming at her now. Like, he's like all red in the face. I mean, your brother doesn't deserve a glass of water. Like, it was so. Oh, stop with him. I can't with Bo Deedle. He gets on my nerves.
I do think though, I think it did need to happen the end of that. I mean, it was never working. This, Teresa.
But listen, Joe didn't even do anything though. I mean, think about it. What they did have, if all the allegations against them are one thing, because Teresa and Louis got allegations against him out the wazoo. Okay. So does Joe does. Teresa's been in prison. So all these things that they say Joe does, he's a user, she's a whore, she's a cheater, blah, blah. They all got allegations against them. You can accuse anybody of anything. You can sue anybody for anything. It just has to hold up in court, or it just has to make sense in the end.
But I don't think that's the issue. It was the secretly getting on New Jersey behind Teresa's back. And even Andy Cohen has admitted that they did that. Okay. And Carlos King admitted it as well.
I'll give her that. But that's ridiculous. How do you stop your family? I get it. Maybe she thought they would fight the whole time, right? But it's been 13 years, girlfriend. What do you mean? If you're mad about it, what was that? We were all friends. I mean, you guys were fine up until Louis came around. And Gia even said it. She sat there and in the confessional, and they said, "When did this all start again?" And Gia goes, "When Louis came around." And you see her like,
but it was never perfect. When
it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't broken for life. I think
it was broken. They were just saving face because they both knew it was a good storyline.
That's the thing. They could keep going with this story. They were okay enough with the sprinkle cookies, and maybe you weren't seeing Dad a lot, and you did this, and then we could still film together. But Louis has made it where she can't even film with anyone anymore. Her hairdresser is gone. Her friggin' podcast is almost gone. Her brother's gone.
Who? Teresa?
Yeah, he fights.
Still podcasting with Melissa
Is she? I didn't think she was gonna. Did they ever air the episode with Louis explaining that? Because I know that they did an episode where Louis was going to go on the podcast with the court papers and re-abuse.
Yeah, I believe they did do that one. So what happened was they were with one podcast, which is the same as I believe Melissa and Joe's podcast is.
It's the same thing.
It's part of the same one. It's not iHeart. It's one podcast. Okay. However, allegedly, what happened, from what I heard, was that Teresa wanted to get certain like sponsorships. Like she was like, "Why can't I get bigger ones?" And apparently they were like, "Yeah, because these like big names don't want to work with you."
Yes.
Allegedly, because of like she's got a criminal record and stuff, and that really pissed her off, and that's why her and Melissa Feister moved to this different podcasting company to do their Namaste Bitches podcast. But they still have the podcast. Still going strong.
I don't know. I mean, I just like Teresa is okay. Like she was fine until he came. She was okay. She got along with everyone. I mean,
her and Marge never really got along. I don't think.
No,
other than the like after Marge's first season, it went left.
Yeah, I was actually on Teresa's side with Marge last year when she was telling Marge to stop fucking talking. I kept saying, "Marge, stop talking." Teresa asked you 5 times now to stop talking about Louis. And Marge wouldn't stop talking about Louis. And that would piss Teresa off. And I was so, she'll never forgive Marge for that.
Yeah. And then with all the Jackie stuff, and then with Jackie,
Yeah.
she was like trying to make, I think.
Listen, that's where the producers.
They're the messiest. Teresa and Marge are the messiest on that show.
Guess what? The producers are the ones that created the Evan rumor. They put it in Teresa's head that day. She was drunk on the way to the party, and because she didn't give blowjobs, Teresa could not get it out of her head. She could not understand how Evan would never, if she doesn't give blowjobs to her husband, he's got to be cheating. And she would say it all the time. So
but Marge actually was the one that talked about the rumor and told the producers.
I don't think so. I think the producers are like, you know what? Teresa's drunk. Let's get it.
And this is why Jackie and Marge aren't friends. It's like one of the big reasons. And it's sort of like, I think Jackie found out off camera, but the fallout on camera is to do with Marge believing she was responsible for Jackie doing the book.
The rumor's not, but they all admit that the rumor's not even true, and that they all admit that they don't believe it. It is not really true, and now they're just fighting about who said it first.
But still, to do that to someone that you say is a close friend is insulting, like that. And I think someone like Jackie does take that type of stuff very personally.
And honestly, I felt really bad for her. I was really upset about it because I knew it wasn't true. And I knew whoever they were saying if the girl was, I knew that wasn't true because she has a whole family. And Jackie did get very sick over that. But now I feel like she's so desperate to be back on the show. She jumped on the friggin' Teresa thing. She's doing
I mean, the problem with Jackie, as much as I like her as an individual, she isn't mentally strong enough to be on a reality show, particularly a show like Housewives.
No, especially Jersey.
You know, they do, you know, it's a difficult show to be on. You know, you've got the producers involved causing stuff, trying to make stuff happen. Who
very
the hell is that trying to call me? These bloody, I swear it's call centers.
It's also very toxic for Jackie. Like Jackie's not like Dolores has said it. You're just not cut from the same cloth. She can't handle herself here. It's hard. It's like these women are not. They're vicious, but then listen. Then the next day they can be friends again. Like, you know, we can scream and F you and everything, and like literally the next day they're fine. But Jackie, I mean, she doesn't want this. If this rumor is not true, there's no way, no reason in the world for you to even bring it back up again and use that as a storyline to be mad at Marge now.
Well, I think with the being
Marge is her only friend.
I think with being on a reality show, particularly like all those housewives shows in general, you have to have two personalities.
Yeah.
And I think when you're filming on Housewives, you have to be emotionally detached from situations and not thinking about the deeper meaning, the personal, you know, meaning in people's feelings. And that's why you've got your people like Teresa, Marge, you know, Alexia from Miami, Erica Jane. They're fighters and they can emotionally detach from things.
Yes.
Whereas someone like Jackie is very one-dimensional, and this is why she struggles more than, say, someone like Teresa or Dolores, for example.
Yes. And it's crazy because it's like the best housewives really, when they don't need the money, when they really actually have real money and they're not desperate for fame, they make the best housewives because they're not acting crazy. But then it's like Jackie doesn't need the money. So it's like she should just focus on her health and she doesn't need the money. I don't know why she thinks that, I mean, this is really, if it's fame for her, but like people like Rinna didn't need the money or the fame, but she was so desperate. Look what she
Rinna needed the money.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, look at Rinna now. She basically has no equity in that house in Beverly Hills.
I don't know. See, like, I feel like I feel like I'm finding out all these
she
are not as rich as I thought.
Days of her lives, and then she had no work after that. So, like, she needed Housewives as an income.
See, it's weird because I think that was kind of like when she got on Housewives, it was kind of like extra for her. Because I just always remember seeing her a lot. Since I was little, she's looked the same. I've always seen Lisa Rinna.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, man, she never says no, which is cool. She was cool at first. And then she just got out of, I don't know.
I think she thought that was, by doing those things, that was sealing her fate to stay on each season. But I think Rinna, she's got a lot of issues that she's not addressed. And they definitely got even worse after her mother's death.
Absolutely.
I think she was doing things that she thought, oh, it's going to be a great storyline. I'm going to be on the show. I'm happy to be the villain. But what Lisa Rinna did is it just got way too dark. There's a difference on being the villain to being like purely like disgusting. And Rinna went the purely disgusting level. And I think she could come back, but I think she needs help. She needs to sort herself out. And I think a pause is the right. I think Bravo did make the right decision of pausing her.
See, and then I was so for Denise coming back until this happened. I am so sad for her. Like, what do you think was wrong with Denise? Do you think she took a pill?
My problem with Denise is I see so many people go, oh, I love Denise. I really want Denise to be a housewife. But the problem with Denise is she isn't honest enough. She doesn't talk enough to warrant or being one. So, like, and there's a lot of hypocrisy from her. So she was still getting upset about the whole conversation of Erica, you know, saying things in front of her daughter, but you happily encourage and support your daughter to say that she's a sex worker and do OnlyFans.
Listen, it didn't make sense. We're trying to make sense out of something that she didn't know what the hell she was doing at that dinner. I promise you, it was. But not
even since then, even season episodes since then,
trying to double down because she feels stupid for not knowing. She was so effed up. She didn't know what she was mad at Erica for. She had to make it up the next day because you're right.
But then she said it in the episode after that. She talked about like the whole what Erica said in front of her daughter, and it's like you can't use this one when you encourage your daughter to do and support her doing OnlyFans, getting naked on it as a living. You can't as much as I don't like Erica, you can't go back to that argument when we know that doing OnlyFans is a lot more controversial than someone talking about sex in front of someone that's actually 16.
We have and especially when there's bigger fish to fry over here. You should have been yelling at Vile Kyle for having Freddie tell you that you were with Brandy. She should have been yelling at whoever was jumping on the Fox Force 5 and on her at that table when she did Bravo, effing Bravo. She went to that dinner thinking this was her time to come back. She had to do something. So she picks the best target is always Erica for everybody because they can say, you knew that she was, everybody can say what Erica's done, right? But I don't think she knew what she was yelling at Erica for. She thought Erica's just in her Xanax mind, allegedly. I'm going to say she took Xanax. I'm telling you, it was like Xanax and alcohol, maybe the weed, but I don't know. But she was not on planet Earth.
And I've got a different idea of what's been happening. I think the Xanax could well be correct. However, I think Erica has been taking coaching to how to act calm, how to show a neutral position, because it is going to get to a point soon where we are going to probably be seeing Erica in court. And so she knows that she can't be seen as angry or telling someone to fuck off in a courtroom, because the jury is just then going to go, we're not taking your side. The judge is going to be like, I don't like you. So she knows that she's got to come up with ways to stop anger. So I believe she's already started this, it's got a coaching of how to deal with this. It's like the same with politicians here in the UK and the United States. A lot of them are trained in how to say things in a neutral way or not to get upset about things.
Right.
And I think Erica's done something like that, and that's why she's not getting angry at Sutton. She wasn't getting angry at Denise.
And I feel like, thank God, because it would have just totally went, like Erica said, the old Erica would have been losing her mind. I want to believe, I actually like this Erica. I wish she would have fake, even if it's fake, like politicians, I would have liked her to just be this normal. I mean, okay, maybe fight back. The cotton candy drama is one thing. Listen, Dorit telling Denise that her shirt's on upside down, that could have been something, I mean, obviously she wasn't trying to fuck with her or anything. Denise just, again, was not on planet Earth.
Yeah. Erica,
to see Erica, this little man, but not flip out. It's nice to see her
I mean, to me, Kyle and Dorit are coming off the worst this season.
Oh,
I
I
just
like
don't get I just don't get why the hell Dorit keeps being asked to come back. I mean, we all know she doesn't have a pot to piss in. We all know that she's a resident liar. Her husband's unlikable and fat. Like, what would
I like that
why do they bring this woman back all the
because
time? We know it's all fake.
for because I think Kyle has nobody else. They want Kyle. They're babying Kyle, and I think that's why they bring Dorit back, even because they know that these rumors about Mauricio are true. They've been out for years, and now she's choosing this season to be mad about it, which I'm sure a little bit else had something to do with it, the shit that he was doing. But without Dorit, she would have lost her mind because think about it. Crystal, Sutton, and Garcelle are not having Kyle. They are like they're like you know what I mean. Sutton, they are not having it because they're ready to go back after Kyle because now Rena's gone, so they can't get back at her. Teddy's gone, they can't get back at her. Erica, they already tried with Erica. So now Sutton's like, I'm going to get Kyle because now I got Kathy on my side. And I think Kyle has been mentally and physically, not mentally abused by Kathy, her mom. And I think that Kyle has always been like the redheaded stepchild. And I think Kathy took over that role when she fights with Kyle. And she's really abused, like mentally abusive. And now I think Sutton has finally had it with them women. She finally has a little bit more of a platform. So they're all going to go back at Kyle. But now Kyle, unfortunately, is really going through some hellish shit.
Yeah, and I think Kyle is mad about the fact that particularly Sutton and Crystal have a good
Yeah.
friendship with Kathy, and I think
It
it
would make
drives
her nuts.
Kyle
Crazy.
insane.
Yes, because think about it. When you have a toxic relationship with your sister and you're so scared of her to fight with her and you're on eggshells every time she calls, then you find out that these women are like besties with her. And now you have to work with these women. So even everything you're trying to not talk about in your life, your sister knows. And you got Sutton going, yep, Kyle, what's wrong? Name him. You know what I mean? It's like,
That
oh
was
my
so
God,
funny. That was like,
now he can't even. Kyle's like, Jesus Christ, my husband's a fucking weirdo and likes kitty cat bowls. My sister hates me. My friends and the girls I used to go out with on my cast, and now they're coming after me, saying the shit my sister said. I'm like, and if Kyle doesn't lose her effing mind, and then she lost her friend, like she's not having it. Like Kyle, I feel bad, but I feel like it just happened that this shit's happening in her life, but like it's her turn, and I hate to say, but it is her turn. Unfortunately, she just can't handle the fact that Mo likes kitty cat bowls and shit.
I mean, I think Kyle, she's trying to save face. I don't believe she's dating this Morgan Wade girl. I think
No.
I think Morgan's
We made
using.
that up. We decided that for her. Remember, none of us. She did not have show us any kind of relationship with that woman until we started to say, "Oh, we think she's sleeping with this woman, Morgan Reed," and then they make a video about it and fuck with us. I thought they were half sisters until somebody pointed
No,
out.
I think they sort of put it out there themselves. They sort of
Well, they
set
did it
it,
to
and
me. Yeah, to be
we
like, ha ha
all
ha.
went along with it. But I
Right,
think,
I
but I
think
think
it's
it
just
was all Kyle's idea because she wants to save face.
that,
She
and she
knows
wants to
her
get back
marriage
with
is
Mauricio.
probably going to end,
She wanted to get
and she
back with
doesn't want to admit she's been cheated on. That's
Oh
the
my God.
really thing because it makes her look unstable. It makes her look
Look what
weak
he's
as a weak
yes.
individual. So I think she wants to make it seem like, well, their marriage has gone apart because she's been dating Morgan and
Well, look what
he's
he's doing.
been dating all these young girls and
Oh,
being
and doing it.
touchy with
Listen.
Emma Slater from Dancing
Yes.
with the
Yes.
Stars.
Camera
That's She would rather do that. She would rather
deflect.
say she's a different sexuality to what she actually is
Right.
than admit that she's fed up with this marriage, they've changed, and
Yes.
she's bored of being cheated on all the time.
Well, I mean, I think that Aubrey O'Day said it like the girl's traumatized. I'd be traumatized if what Aubrey O'Day allegedly said is true. I would be absolutely traumatized by my husband if I found that out. And I don't know. I'm grossed out by him. You can tell she is. I think she got sick of the. I really do believe the Elsa Jean stuff. Allegedly, maybe he had a love child. I don't know. He just at this point he doesn't give a shit, and it's sad because if he cared about her, like he says he does, and how he's trying to protect, he wouldn't be out in these streets. He's out doing all kinds of weird shit and hanging out with like Emma Slater but I love my wife and we're not talking about divorce. It's like, dude, you're gross. She doesn't
But it's
like
like
you
the
anymore.
truth will set Kyle free, and I think
He
much
just
more
didn't get
people
married.
would support her.
Right, didn't get
Much
right.
more women, I think,
Yep.
who've been cheated on would actually relate to Kyle if
Yep.
she was just like, "Listen, this marriage has changed, and he's kept cheating on me,
For
and
years
that's
they've been
why
married.
I like our marriage is not good." Like,
Yeah, like it's been literally out for forever. And it's like, wow. And I didn't even know that, right? I didn't even know for over years. And I'm like, because I always thought they did have a great marriage. I always was really happy for her because I really did believe she had a great marriage with him and he's very successful. And then he did that whole, what he's doing with this whole, he's getting sued out the wazoo and he screwed over a very dangerous man. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You had all kinds of money. You were successful. Why did you have to go?
yeah. Well,
It's
Sam
all
Hackim's
fucked up in the head.
withdrawn from that case. He's been like, oh well, because of what's happening in Gaza, there are more important things. But then,
That guy's gonna come after
interestingly, the
you.
reason that case is settled is like
He had to.
he did what basically Mauricio settled in that he gave $6.5 million, I think, on their behalf to a charity supporting Gaza or something along those lines. Like Mauricio very much, I think, sort of they did mediation and settled. And
I
so
know, but
Sam Hackman was like, that's realistically, I'm not going to get more than that. So I'm just going to drop the case.
Yeah, guess what? That guy's gonna stop. That guy's not gonna forget about this. He's actually they say he's the most dangerous man in the world. He's not a very good. He's like
What Adoro?
allegedly.
Well, so okay, so what's his the dictator's son that bought it. So that dictator of what was it, New Guinea, I think it
I
is.
forget. So I can't.
He allegedly eats like human brains and
Yes, that's
like
what I'm
drinks the
saying.
blood of like people he's killed.
Yes, if you screw those
Allegedly.
people over, yeah, we'll settle in court. We're friends. Shake my hand. Appear to be everything's great. Before you know it, no, there's no more Momo. Momo, bye bye.
But Mauricio, yeah, I mean, he got that through the government. It's not like they went to him and said, like, can you sell this house for us? Because it was taken by the government because Teodoro, or whatever his name is, used stolen money from Guinea to buy the house. And the US government were like, you've used stolen money.
You know us. You gotta pay us.
You can't do that. So we're taking the house from you and we're going to be selling it, getting the funds to give back to your country or go towards your country somehow.
Yeah.
And Mauricio, they did. It wasn't to do with the fact that they sold it for less than Teodoro bought it for. It was that he sold it for well under market value.
And like he didn't disclose it. Like he had another offer. He was just disclosing
He
another
didn't
offer, right?
allegedly he did not make the people, certain people, aware of all the offers that were coming in. So he didn't make Teodoro aware.
And then and it actually like benefited Mauricio in the end. And that's
and then it was him and Mauricio Oberfeld that bought it. And there were some other investors, and Mauricio's tried to get that document sealed so that it wouldn't release the names of who the other investors were. But I believe now that it's been shut, there won't be more information coming out on this. And I think we all knew the names of them anyway, so I don't really see what he thinks sealing that document now is going to do.
He's so strange because like he just doesn't see. He's very slappy with his marriage and with his his going around town, and then but he's like very, I don't know, like that.
You think his lawyer would have said, people have seen these documents and will know the names already. Like, there's no point asking for it to be sealed. Like, call in the requests for more important stuff that people don't know.
I don't know why he'd even risk losing his license to doing what he did. Like, I just don't know why he needed that to get. He didn't need to make that much more money. Was it worth it? Think about it. Like, he knew the risk and he did it anyway. And it's like, why are you taking risks like that when you have a very successful company everywhere? Like,
I think a lot of entrepreneurs enjoy the risk of
that's fucking nuts
of doing things,
like,
and I do.
it's like another reality star committing a crime on a reality TV. Think about it. He basically committed a crime on reality TV.
Yeah.
Crazy. His name is more, like, I don't know. I'm sure he would have got caught anyway.
Probably.
I mean, I don't know. Think about it. Rick Hilton didn't even need those people. So Rick was going to be successful anyway. To be mad at him for leaving, I don't think that's cool. Like, be happy that he left and he's spreading his wings to fly and he opens his own company and you share equity in Beverly Hills or whatever. But Mauricio just seems to be like a very, I don't know. I don't know. He screwed over PK, which probably was a good idea. On PK,
PK is. I mean, if people think Mauricio's bad,
right,
there
right.
are a lot more receipts to prove that
Right.
PK is actually very much a snake in the
Like, when did
grass.
he
Quite
become?
frankly, I mean, I think Mauricio thought it was something that happened, and I think when it actually came to the reality of doing this show in the UK, I think Mauricio went, actually, you've got a bunch of lawsuits that are happening in the UK, and I want to set up an agency here in London to have you running it when you're not in the good books of like some people, and you've got all that's not a good look on me who's and Mauricio is trying to turn the agency into a global business. He is expanding into Europe. He's got an office in Amsterdam. He's going into Mallorca, I believe, as well, which in Spain.
That's a lot of money to do that. Like, he's making a lot of effing money.
He's making a lot of money, and he's got a lot of good investors. And I reckon maybe those investors were like, I know what PK is about, and I don't.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably a business move.
I can't be an investor for you if you're going to have people like him running shit. I think what's happening.
When did PK become a realtor? Or I didn't even know he was I didn't even know he did that. Is he that? Is he a realtor or something over there? Like, did he do that stuff over there?
We don't really know what he does. So what happened was, he owned a massive property development firm in the UK. He was worth about 300 million. His business was worth about 1.5 billion.
Wow.
However, when the economy happened, he did go bust.
2008.
His dealings have been rather strange since what's happened. So Dana and we did find an article about how he's been doing some stuff involving crypto in Dubai. So, and like that type of stuff. But in terms of the real estate, and then he did the managing Boy George, but he's not a big star, so I can't really see that paying you loads
that was his claim to fame. I thought that was his claim to fame, and I thought that's what they made their money. I just figured residuals and I don't know, Boy George. I thought, but see, I also got him confused with George Michael.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know. It's with him, it's an interesting one.
I wonder,
he doesn't really show us what he does, like the other husbands do.
So, like, she's like, he's away. He's like, what was he doing? What, making a show? I'm like, what?
Yeah, when it's like with the it's just, it doesn't make sense.
And like, if you were burglarized 3 times, would you go to the bank and take $10,000 out in cash from your house, driving in your car, go to the bank, and then go to a store and not think that these people that never got caught are going to follow you? Because when they take her money in her wallet, allegedly, she says she was followed. But like, why would you do that if you got robbed? I don't even believe the $10,000 is real. I don't think she ever had $10,000.
I mean, I want to see. That's another thing I need. Is there a police report for that? Even?
That's what I'm saying. And also, her third home invasion, there's no gun in the police report, and she keeps saying she was held at gunpoint.
Yeah, and it's like, why is the report the police have completely different to what you're telling us?
It's crazy, and it's just like, and then PK's like, "Here's the police report. There was nobody in the car with me." It's like, okay, dude, the same police that let you sit at the police station and sober up. Then you know what I mean, and then call them out. The same police that let you hang out, like, you're really gonna trust that police report?
And actually, he was in downtown Los Angeles, and he was going back to Encino That's about 45. That's probably about a 45-minute drive.
Encino, really?
Yeah, he lives in Encino, which is
I
in the
heard that.
valley.
That's right. That's right.
And
I
that's like 45, probably 45, 50 minutes away potentially from downtown Los Angeles.
That's
So
crazy.
who's to say that maybe he was driving a woman,
I think it was.
dropped her off somewhere, who knows, and then was driving back and he got caught,
And
when he didn't have someone else in the car. Like,
he was probably just doing something that night. Because why would he call
oh yeah.
Mauricio? He called
Probably the
Mauricio.
night he was, I think that was the night where he name dropped that he was with John Legend. He was having dinner with John Legend or something.
Oh gosh. I mean, all right. But I would still call my wife. I wouldn't call Mauricio. If I got literally a DWI, there's no reason for you not to call Dorit to come get you. Why do you call Mauricio, the sneaky ass fucker that cheats on his wife now? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you call the biggest sneaky deaky in the group, and it's like, why? And then you tell her the next day. You don't even tell her? Like, it's just so weird. Like,
But I think what's interesting is Dorit, you can tell that they don't have what they used to have. Like,
right.
the fact that she's dyed her hair like brown,
Yeah.
she's done that. That's because it's easier to maintain.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you've got to spend a lot of money on blonde hair lights to be keeping your hair going blonde.
Especially up and extensions to go. Yeah, because she does a lot of different hairstyles.
And then I've noticed her clothing. She's wearing a lot more casual stuff. We're not seeing all the, these Louis Vuitton branded stuff like we used to.
Chanel this, Chanel that, Chanel earrings.
Exactly.
She probably lost like that sponsor. I think she had some kind of thing with Chanel, like sponsorship. I don't know.
To me, it seems that because she's paid a lot of the tax bill off. It's like now she's paid a lot of this tax bill off. She doesn't have the cash she used to.
Yeah. Listen, I don't even I don't believe, I definitely don't believe, I'm sorry, I just don't believe that third robbery at all. I don't believe that home invasion because I don't know. It's weird that they left her the cell phone and let her know that it was going to be lighting up and then they never got caught. And then she's like, the whole gun line, saying there was a gun there. Listen, I would be very traumatized if that really happened, but I don't, either she doesn't understand that PK set it up and she doesn't want to believe that, but like something is not adding up with me with her. Like, I just don't understand. You're traumatized, but you're going to Vegas, but then you don't want to go to a 50-person, movie screening for Garcelle. You're oh my God, there's going to be people there. Nobody told me. You're what? Like, what? I'm sorry. You had a home invasion, you weren't out at a club and it got shot. It's just strange. She picks and chooses her PTSD. She's mad at PK, but she's like, love her. Baby lovers. They're both like, baby love. Yes, lover. I'm like, you guys are not, how are you guys saying you're getting divorced? You're both going, baby lover. Here, hey, baby loves, come talk to me. It's like, what? Like, baby love.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
What do you mean? He's like, he has no idea they're getting a divorce. It's like he has no idea he's about to use this thing as a storyline. Like he's like taken off. I think he's definitely taken back by the fact that she's trying to use this shit as a storyline. Like, you weren't.
I mean, even the whole like that dinner thing that they did at the Beverly Wilshire. What was it that they? What was it?
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Yeah.
With Berlin there singing.
Yeah, I think Dorit even said it was embarrassing. Like, you could tell she did not enjoy it. It was embarrassing. Julia Roberts said it was cringe on Watch What Happens Live. Like, even all the other housewives said that they thought it was so weird. Like,
yeah, especially if she doesn't even really understand. Like, I don't think she said she ever really that scene. I don't know. It's like a scene, but hello, she's a hooker. I mean, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you didn't sweep Dorit off the streets or something, and you're her king or something.
Or is he telling us a sign of like maybe Dorit is doing stuff to like make that money?
Huh? I don't like what he would say.
Do you think or do you think maybe PK is giving us a sign and he's like?
I just think
he's basically
clueless. I think he's clueless. And he thought that would be cool or cute. I think he thought that she was.
No, but hypothetically, do you think PK could be giving us a sign that, like, maybe Dorit is doing stuff to
I don't
make
know.
pay the bills, and
Well,
that's
listen,
why, like, the pretty
maybe
woman
they
is?
saw. Remember how she kissed Mauricio's back?
Yeah.
Maybe that him and Kyle both had to have seen that scene. We made a big deal out of that. It's not right. It's strange. That is a very strange thing to do.
I mean, Kyle can pretend all she likes to pretend that she
Yeah.
wasn't. We could all tell Kyle was really riled up about it. And this is why I think that she's sort of replaced Dorit with Morgan Wade.
Yeah.
This is the reason why. Kyle's not going to admit it. She's going to be like, yeah, I don't think you were really there for me in the reunion. No, it's not that. She's pissed off that you were cuddling and kissing her husband's fucking neck and arm.
Weird.
Or weird.
It was like,
that's what she's mad about.
You cannot confuse. I said, okay, maybe she confused a group hug. Maybe she confused it. It was a cuddle puddle. She thought it was PK. I watched it so many times. There's no way to confuse that. You knew. And I think Mauricio would he would sleep with Dorit. That's it. Bing, bang, boom. Because he does not respect Kyle anymore. He does not. It's all in her face now.
I mean, to me,
and I
I've
think
said this to someone else, but I mean, to me, I believe that they've definitely kissed or they've done something, whether it's something that they did for a long time, whether it was a one-night thing. There's definitely something between them that has happened, is what I believe.
Yeah, and I'm like watching the scene when Dorit's asking Kyle about, like, they're driving in the car, and I'm like, this is like it's like Ariana and Rachel Raquel all over again. And Kyle's like trying to tell Dorit's like, what's going on with you and Mel? You know, are you like thinking about separating? Like, and she's like having this conversation. I'm like, oh my God, like, could maybe they all be getting.
Kyle seemed really pissed off that she was getting asked the questions. I found.
I know, and it's like, Kyle, we all know, Kyle. We know what Mauricio's been doing. I'm not gonna. I mean, it kissed his back. It's so strange, and it's a kiss. It's a weird. It was after the robbery, and it was like the four of them were in a room, and it was when like Dorit was crying about the robbery, and they're all together, and they do a group hug, and Dorit is behind Mo, and the way she kissed his back, it was like you just fucked him. It was just so weird. It's like no way. I would never be able, as somebody's wife, my husband, if I watched my husband, it just could not. I'd be like to my friend, why did you? I'm so confused. I would never be able to understand that because the scene is effed up, and it's like it's a big deal, but not really. I mean, I'm like considering what other things that he's done. I don't know if Kyle's just like screw it. It's like if he fucked Dorit, he fucked Dorit. You know, she's got Aubrey O'Day saying things. She's got Elsa Jean saying things. She's got Brandy saying things. Mo is always in the paper. And then he's with Emma Slater. Now he's with some other chick, and none of them look like Kyle. All of them were blonde until just now.
Yeah.
Kyle's not his type. And she is grossed out by him. You can tell. She can't even pretend. See, if she really didn't, I believe this whole thing because listen, if she really wanted to hide it, she'd be all over him on camera. She would not be this standoffish to him. She's really done with it. Like Kathy said, she would not take it this far. And I really believe.
And she's using Morgan as a way to save face. And I think even Kathy knows it as well. I think Kathy's going along supporting Kyle, pretending that Morgan's like the sort of the girlfriend, but not confirming she is deliberately because she knows. And Kathy would do the same. They wouldn't want to admit they've been cheated on. And I think it would sort of embarrass Kathy if Kyle admitted that.
Why did Kathy get the tattoo? Kathy got the K tattoo, the initial tattoo. Like, so now Kyle, and Morgan all have the same one. And I'm like, I swore they were half sisters. But then somebody said to me, no, because Kyle's father had passed away before Morgan was born. But then I'm like, but something doesn't add up. Like, if they're just friends, okay, that's okay, fast friends, I get it. But even watching them, they don't look like they would be. They look like sisters. They look like twins. Kyle and Morgan look so much alike. There's one picture of them where they look exactly alike, and then Kathy's next to them. And
because I think this is what Kyle does. I think she when she becomes friends, she sort of gets like unhealthily obsessed with that.
Yeah.
And
That's
then she like copies everything they do. So she's sort of like robbing Morgan's identity at this stage,
yeah,
like buying the same type of clothes, getting the tattoos,
the trucker
walking in
hat.
this like butch way. It's like
Yeah,
she sort of walks a bit like Teddy the Nat nowadays, I've
yeah,
noticed as well. She's like this
yeah. She looks
thing.
all and yeah. When she was running, I was like, her neck muscles are popping out, and then like when she's yelling at something, she's like this, and I'm like, Kyle, you look like a dude. You look like a straight dude, and I'm like, she looks so. Last year when she got her nose done, she got a smaller nose. She looked gorgeous. She looked better than she ever did. Then she got a little sloppy drunk. And now I feel like she feels like she has completely lost control of her entire life. So I think the anorexia, I think she's anorexic, and I think Morgan started her working out, and I think that's a control thing for Kyle. She can control that. She can control her not drinking. She can control her eating thing. I think she's lost control of Mauricio. She's lost control of her sister's relationship with her sisters. I mean, she's at the point where like it was so bad last year with what Rinna did, even if it's true or not. There's so many things on Reddit about how abusive Kathy, how toxic, I don't say abusive, but toxic Kathy was always to Kyle. Only Kyle was like the redheaded stepsister. And, you know, they said the mom was very mean and abusive. All she cared about was money. But
Yeah,
Kyle,
that's true.
and then the friends like, listen, it was hard for Kyle. They were always abusive. They cheated her.
She allegedly taught their daughters how to do head.
Yes. It's like crazy. And it's like, we don't, of course, Kyle's not going to talk about her mom like that. Her mom's not here anymore. You don't want to.
They both don't. I mean, we saw how mad Kathy got when Kyle sort of produced the that film about about their mum's life.
Everything. She gets mad at Kyle for everything. Everything Kyle's tried to do, Kathy has had a problem with it. The book, the show, the other show, the American, whatever, everything that Kyle has done. It's like Kathy said, she said, I would have gotten a cease and desist from my own daughter. And now we know that I just got stuck watching a couple episodes of Paris in Love. And I'm freaked out by it, but I'm trying to understand, but I'm a little freaked out by it. Freaked out by the baby, freaked out by you're just a grandmom right now all of a sudden. But I feel like Kathy, and I'm like, Jesus, Kathy, like now you have a daughter that didn't even tell you she was having a baby. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird. And then they've had these two babies so close apart. Like, it's like
yeah.
I thought that was weird. It's like
it's weird to even tell somebody
put one in one surrogate, put another in a different surrogate a couple of months later.
It's so weird. I'm like, but then to introduce your baby to your mom on camera is freaking weird to me.
Yeah, that was weird to me.
And I'm like, is she really attached to this baby? I have to stop.
No, I don't think.
I gotta stop.
I think Paris needs to. I think she's trying to evolve because she's realized she's got to a certain age, so she needs to be seen as someone that's evolving. So she's doing things that people her age would do.
Right, you're right.
But I don't think it's something that she wants to do.
No, I don't think. I think Carter forced her to have these kids, and she didn't even have them. Is it Carter his name? I feel something strange about him.
And there's allegations that she's actually what's his name? Carter's beard.
Yes, I also heard other stuff too. I mean, I don't know.
Allegedly, he's out at the clubs and those types of things. Having
he forced her to have these. I feel like he forced these two babies. It's just strange. You're gonna have a baby in 48 hours. Okay, I'm like. I just to keep it from your mom and just introduce this baby to your parents on camera and be like,
and then it's like, and then it was like Paris saying like, I could never open up to you as a child because you always got so mad.
Yeah, see, it's kind of what Kyle says.
Yeah, and then like Kyle has talked about how easily Kathy gets mad. Sutton's implied that Kathy can get.
Rinna said it. We didn't believe her. We believed her, but we didn't believe that she had said the thing.
Rinna's fault in this was she exaggerated things that were said.
Well, she also thought that she could get Kathy, and Kathy said
thought she could get Kathy, and she exaggerated. Whereas I think if Rinna were more honest and had really sort of brought out the receipts, she would have done herself a favor. But this is where Rinna doesn't use her brain properly.
And then to send Kathy a thank you. Now all of a sudden you're going to kiss Kathy's ass, Rinna, and send her an apology. Like, it's like, Rinna, it's too late.
And then apparently their friend, I mean, I think producers are spinning this. They know that this season of Beverly Hills isn't that interesting.
It's just,
you know, they know that it's only really what people are watching because of the finding out the truth of the Kyle situation
and the whole
is she going to stay with Mo or not? And they brought up Kathy so much, even though she's not on it. I mean, it's really Sutton and Kathy that and Kyle that are sort of the main thing of what's happening with the show. They're arguing.
I've been saying this. I said this Hilton's Kyle they need to have their own show. Kyle, Kathy, Kim, they have so much drama that takes up so much of our time. Because now in Beverly Hills, we cannot get into anybody else's stuff because we have to focus on, we're going to be focused on what's going on with Kyle. And I feel like their family needs to come together, stop having separate side shows, get off of Beverly Hills, be creative, have creative control like the Kardashians do, so you can control Kim. Because you don't want producers to control your family with that kind of family. But there's so much going on with them that they could have aside. They don't need to have Beverly Hills because we need to be focused on other people. Like, we don't know now. It's like Erica is going to start getting into some shit.
Yeah.
Anna Marie's a whole liar. That was all weird.
I don't like her. Get rid of her.
Oh, God, did you find
she's a one-season wonder for me. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is really pissing me off. Evolution are doing an awful job at finding replacements for people.
And that's
why they're back Camille. We know Camille can throw shade. We know she can deliver. We know she's got the lifestyle that's needed. And yet they just won't do it. And it's like, you've got someone in front of you that wants to do it. And you're being a bunch of dickheads going, oh no, I want to play games and I don't want to.
They had a whole dinner table of options, right? We had Camille, we had Faye, we had Denise, we had a whole table of ex-housewives, and everybody just sat because Denise had to go. Denise had to act like she did. They are not, and then listen, and people are saying, oh, they can't, they need to find better replacements. But listen, they're not paying them because they keep friggin' screwing up. They're not going to pay these people a lot of money up first because look what keeps happening. Like Anna Marie's not even a doctor. She's a nurse, anesthesiologist. And she's yelling at Sutton.
And yet Tiffany Moon from Dallas called out that she gave Anne Marie gave the completely wrong information. So,
it's like, oh, here we go
again. If she were my nurse, I'd be like, can you change the nurse, please?
I was just like, what are you, Anne Marie, shut up. Just sit down. You just got here. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Sutton's like, it was so crazy. I'm like, well, she ruined her 15 minutes. Like, we lost, it's like we're crazy. Like, Denise, obviously, she can't come back. She's a mess. Denise cannot come back. She's not with it. She needs help. We know that Ren is out the door. We're never going to get Vanderpump back. Like, we do need Camille. And I just feel like Dorit, okay, I don't know.
Camille is going to be the nearest you can get to having Lisa Vanderpump, in my opinion, of someone that's going to bring it in that similar way.
What do you think about Heather going there? Heather, I can't believe OC got picked back.
I don't think she'll fit the dynamic. I think the problem with Heather is she is quite entitled. She's very arrogant. So she'll go onto that show thinking, oh, I'm the queen bee. And people were like, you might have been on OC, but you're new to Beverly Hills. You're new to this show. It doesn't really work like that. You can't be like the matriarch here. I think there's going to be a lot of issues with power play. I know that Kyle doesn't like Heather Dubrow because Heather Dubrow has a friendship with Lisa Vanderpump. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I was trying to think. I don't think Heather fits in at all. I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, even Crystal's cooler. I mean, Crystal's definitely money, but she's so cool. But like, you can't get her to I don't know. You can't get her.
I'm finding her a bit boring. She needs to give us more.
I like her with her family. I want to know more. I want to know why she's obsessed with her brother.
She's got too many issues to be on a show like this. It's a bit of a Jackie situation.
Yeah, she can't really handle the heat.
But I think this is the problem with the whole of reality in TV in general is that all these producers, all they want to do is play games with people of getting them on. They're like, oh, we're interested. And then they sort of like are silent and don't say anything. And they sort of like want you to beg and then don't like people for sort of begging to get on the show. And then they sort of, instead of going for those types who actually want to do it and would deliver, you're going for these other shitheads that you've somehow found, but are crap at what they do. And it's just, it's the problem is most executive producers have over the years, I think in general, have got very arrogant and they think what they say is right and what's the best. And it's like, well, no one gives a fuck what you say. You're replaceable. They can find a new one. It's all about the views. And if you're not getting the views, you're not good at what you do.
Look at it, like they have all the what they're doing now, because all these franchises are so toxic with each other. They force them to go to dinner and play a game, and then that creates a drama. And all now we're watching is a bunch of girls get drunk together and fight at a table. None of them want to hang out anymore. Like think about it, Atlanta, or not Atlanta, on Potomac. Look what they just did there. Like at this point, but I can't do Potomac anymore. Like
Bravo, people like Andy and all the other executive producers of Bravo, they're far too arrogant, and this is why the views have gone downhill, because they've refused to accept that there have been issues, that they've been doing the worst job ever with casting for all these shows. And they sort of realize until the ship's nearly fully, sunken in the bloody sea.
I'm also starting to think maybe that Housewives has run its course, because it's like now they kind of audition for, now they kind of have to create the drama that they've seen before. Because we had, for about 13 years, maybe 10 years, we had actual good stuff. And everything was exciting and cotton candy. And then when the criminal stuff started happening, it got very toxic and didn't happen really in Jersey.
I don't think it's run its course, but I think it's, these networks, these executive producers don't listen to the viewer.
I know.
I think this is what the majority of them don't do. And I'm like, not saying don't do exactly what the public says, but listen to the perspective of what we, the viewer, what we who review this, that talk to people, know
the narrative
what people want to be seeing. That's what you should be doing, and you would have a more interesting show.
Yeah, like we keep the narrative going for them when they're not on camera and on film. They literally, where do you go when you want to find out what's going on with the housewife? Do you go to CNN? Do you go to Fox News? No, you go to YouTube, you go to the podcast, you go to the content creators that are talking about these people and keeping them relevant, and they're giving us their drama, they're feeding us their shit, and we're creating the drama for them. Then we get them on camera.
Why when they get angry, it's like you're being kept relevant either way. So why are you
about it? Right? We're not a cult. We don't all have to agree. We're not a cult. You're making money. We're making money. You're making money. Just shut up. And but then it gets so toxic on the show that we're like, we can't watch this anymore. Like, they're not even real friends anymore because they've screwed each other over. The producers are like, yes, play a game and make sure you ask who would you throw off the cart first. Like, make sure you play a game where this is going to end up in an argument. Like you had to have Lisa throwing Monica off of the wagon because you had to throw somebody off a wagon. Like, and then it's like, whose husband would you sleep with? Like, these are not games that people play that have fought with each other. Like these whole, I don't know where these games come from. The producers come up with something. They're like, we got to come up with a cast trip because nobody wants to hang out. You got to come up with they're out to dinner, or they're out to the Pioneer thing. All OC was a bunch of them going out to eat all the time, getting drunk and fighting. Like, I don't want to see Tamrat's boobs anymore. I don't want to see Shannon crying. I'm over OC. I'm over it completely. I
never wanted Tamrat back. I mean, nobody wanted her back. Why did they? Like, again, if you listen to us, if you looked at X, you looked at Instagram, you'd see that no one, the majority of viewers, really didn't have a care in the world to see Tamra back.
Yep. When they see there's 900,000 watched this week, 800,000 watched this week, you're seeing your views go down.
But they ignore it. It's arrogance. It's pride.
It's crazy to me. It's like, you know what? If we all just went silent, Right, like nobody. If we all
But
did,
the
it's like
problem is we live in a too sensitive world, and it's
yeah.
like everyone wants to be liberal. Everyone's a bit too scared to like call it out and say it how it is. And it's like, well, the numbers aren't great. Like you need to address it. Oh, people get insulted by it, and it's like you can't get insulted by the truth. I'm sorry.
How dare you bring Roni back? Call it legacy. It's Roni. You got rid of it because we asked you to because of Ramona. We couldn't do it anymore. And then you bring it back and call it something else. And it's like, you just brought back the problems we said we didn't want anymore. No reunion. Call it legacy, but that is goddamn Roni to me. I'm sorry.
The
It is
mistake they made with Roni,
good. I don't
they
know.
should have never got rid of Dorinda.
Drunk in
What they should have done with this new Roni is I don't like all the cast, but what I would have done is I would have done it in the way Miami did it. So I would have kept people like Dorinda. I would have kept
no Ramona.
Luann. I think Ramona. I would have kept Ramona on.
Ramona, she's too. Ramona, I think she's caused. I think that she would cause problems for Bravo, more problems for Bravo. I just do. She just doesn't know how to stop talking. But I think Bethany. The only thing that makes me happy about another Roni thing is it goes up Bethany's butt, because I think Bethany has lost her fight for the reality revolution.
I mean, at the end of the day,
it's Roni. That's what it is.
Bethany. I mean,
something
Bethany is just at the end of the day. What's happened with her is she thought she was better than Bravo. She thought she was better than Roni. She did a bunch of these spin-off shows, her own shows that did crap in the views, didn't work, didn't get renewed after a season. And she's like, oh, what do I do now to stay relevant? Like, I think she's sold the majority of Skinny Girl. So it's like, how is she going to keep herself afloat to be in the public eye and stay relevant? Oh, I'll do reality reckoning. As for Leah McSweeney, to me, she's like a jilted ex.
They're literally, yes, they're all disgruntled employees. Leah
McSweeney to me is like a weird, sex-obsessed, jilted ex is how I would best describe her. Complaining is like making all these things that we see no evidence. I mean, you really think that people would... this amount of people, like particularly the wealthy ones like Heather Dubrow, you'd think she would stay if you withheld food from her? No. But even Kyle wouldn't do that. I mean, so you've got to...
Whatever happened to her her charity? Remember Be Strong? Remember she was the first one on all the, where there's an earthquake somewhere. Bethany was always out doing these like charity things where she was like the Red Cross basically. And all of a sudden, I've heard one word about Be Strong. She would go to like, she was literally in like, I don't know, there was an earthquake somewhere.
Yeah, and she went to Ukraine and stuff.
Yeah. Is she still doing it? Because I don't hear anything.
I don't know, because I would have thought that she'd be in like Gaza or Israel or somewhere.
China right now, there's just an earthquake in China. She would be the first ones in Israel. I don't know, maybe she still has it and it's like people are working for her, but I don't hear anything about donating to it. She's all about this reality reckoning. It's like, you were so much better. She was really good at doing that. I watched her when she was like they had on camera when she was like going to the places, and she was like very good at being that, Be Strong and all that. But then she went crazy. I think she went cuckoo because she doesn't even breathe. She's like, it's like,
I mean, it's like Bethany's like is on ecstasy or something and like can't stop
like
talking.
She doesn't sleep or something, and she's like, I got to talk about this real quick. And it's like, yo, your eyes are fucking going like this lady. Like, I feel bad for her daughter. Like, it's like, does your daughter have to hear this? Like, I don't know. I just feel like she's so like desperate to stay relevant now.
I mean, Leah McSweeney, and like both of them, they're both embarrassments to their
family. Like they said the lawsuit, none of them are on anything. It's nothing together. There's not Bethany's name is not on anything. There's no class action suit. It's like each of them have their own little separate thing. Like Leah, I think they all got sucked into this thing, and now they're like, oh shit, we just bit the hand that fed us. And Bethany's like, now Bethany's.
Well, they know it was a massive flop. I mean, what we were being sold is they're going to be these massive, bold new revelations that none of us had heard, and then these Bethany's and Raquel and Leah, they weren't giving us new information or new facts. We knew all of this stuff anyway, and it was like, this isn't This isn't anything special, which is why none of us really cared about it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I totally listen. Rachel Raquel, I wish that she would have went back on the show. She would have just stuck it out with, because at this point she left because she thought she was going to get a bigger paycheck. I don't care what she has to say now. I don't care.
For me, for the paycheck she's got, I'd happily stick it out to do that.
Listen, Sandoval did it, and they forgave him. She could have literally sucked it up. She did something fucked up. She would have sucked it up for a season, took the shit, and they would have forgot about it like they did with Sandoval. They're all best friends again.
If I were being paid like a six-figure salary like they all are at Vanderpump Rules,
they offered her
I'd
money.
be sticking that. I would be sticking that out. Let
they
me
would
tell
have made
you.
friendships. They would have done something to include her. And I was really happy when I thought she was working on her mental health. Then I found out she was holding out for a bigger check. And I'm like, girl, if you didn't care about your mental health, I wish you just would have went back, because then you fucked your 15 minutes up. Like Lala said, girl, you fucked up your 15 minutes, man. Like you could have really really
like Raquel, like what does she think she's gonna do now? Like what
she's gonna tell us her side? We already know your side, honey. Well, it's one episode.
You know your side. You did the reality reckoning, which none of us cared about.
Yeah,
so it's like where does she go from here now? Like that's the bit I don't. She's like, she has landed her nosedived her career into the ground. Quite frankly.
Yeah, at this point, like a podcast girl, you should have just went back to the show, because the show.
And I don't think she's big enough. I don't think there's going to be enough people that are that interested in listening to her podcast. You're going to be. Every Bravo person has a podcast where they're selling their shitty merch that's overpriced. That no one, all stuff where they're not even honest about what's happening. And charge their fans a hell of a load of money for lies and tat.
Yeah, and it's like, it's work.
I mean, look at Robin. She was lying about ages, and then she made and then her and then Robin from Potomac and what's her name, Giselle. They basically, Robin told the truth on her Patreon. So they made fans pay for it so they could get the tea and the truth of it.
The most interesting thing that's ever happened to this chick, and she keeps it off the show. She doesn't she's not allowed to talk about, like, literally the most interesting thing is,
that's Bravo. And then you've got people like Bravo and making themselves look like the biggest mugs in America and idiots by enabling this behavior. They should have been saying, you're fired. You signed a contract. You tell us every single element of what is actually happening in your life.
And
if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Don't do reality TV then. There are plenty of other jobs that you can do. You don't have to do that. But you signed up to a reality show. You are paid. I mean, you are paid something like 350,000, like 400. I think Robin's on like 400,000. You're earning 400,000 a year to tell us what is happening in your life. You tell us what is happening.
Exactly. Especially when Juan lost his goddamn job and you have nothing else but the goddamn show. You and Juan need to suck it the fuck up and be like, actually, they should have literally acted like they were fighting about it. The fact that he keeps shutting her down, they're going to get fired and he's going to have nothing because the man's not working. He got effing fired. They don't have anything. And she's like, and they're like going after her. And it's like, wait a minute. She's trying to say shit to him, and we saw he shut her off. He shut her down so bad. He doesn't like her. He does not respect her. She has nothing to say in that marriage. I don't know why she married him. I think she married him because she got caught saying that she knew what he did or something. I don't know. The fact that he screams and yells at her and he has no goddamn job, that's the only interesting happening to her, Juan. You need to let her talk about it. You know what I mean? It's screwed up. And it's like, you're going to go after the Osefos and the Bassetts that have done nothing. It's like, how dare you? I think there's I really think Giselle. Here. I know we gotta go. You let it go. It's crazy. I feel like we were. OC messed me up, man. Oh, Judgy Cat's back. Yeah. She's probably hungry, huh? Is her hungry?
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'm enjoying Miami. I'm enjoying all of them being friends and, having just a little bit of a drama and it's conflict resolution. you know, I'm a little annoyed with Julia talking to Marisol's ex. I think that's weird. But I like Miami right now because they rally around each other no matter what.
Yeah, they do, but I think the drama's a bit boring. I'm not sold on the
Because
season.
there's no I see, because I really thought we needed, everybody's like, oh, the criminals aren't here anymore. It's not going to be interesting. We really thought that our housewives was over. Okay. Because we have no criminals to focus on, but it's like, wait, we had 13 years of no criminalistic behavior and we had great franchises. Now I think we're just trying to get our bear, like we're trying to figure out what do we really want. Like, but I think Miami is it reminds me of the old OC days, the very beginning of OC, like where you actually saw with their families, you actually like interacted, they all like actually were real friends. Now it's good. It's starting to get a little bit with Julia and Marisol, that's a little effed up. I mean, you don't talk to somebody's ex. I think that's very
And Larsa's the most fucked up one in that.
I mean, Lars is strange. Lars is really
Yeah.
Marcus he's got options, man. I don't know what he's doing. He has more options, but I don't think he's going to marry her. I think that
I've said this, and everyone does not believe me. I'm like, trust me, Marcus. His dad is like probably would disinherit him if he married Larsa.
honestly,
And let's be honest,
she would
Marcus,
lose
his dad
Yeah.
propped him up. He's not gonna kiss goodbye to the family fortune for
his
Larsa.
girlfriend.
Not gonna happen.
That's his first girlfriend. Come on, that's his first girlfriend, his first relationship. So I mean, it's like she's not. He's going to want to have kids. She's not going to have. I don't think she's going to have kids again. Her kids are grown. It's to me. I don't know. It's like very strange to have a podcast called "We Can't Live Without Each Other" or something. It's called
separation anxiety. And then she
Yes,
throws that party after him being gone in Orlando for 5 days. I mean, they were still in the same state.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you just? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Anyway,
he's enjoying the limelight. But
he's enjoying the limelight. And it'll be over in a year or two. Anyway, I've got to go, but good to talk to you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad that you came up. I'm so glad we actually got to do this. So we'll definitely have to do it soon. But everybody loves you. Thank you. I'm going to probably go too, guys. But thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, definitely.
I enjoyed it. I love talking about Brown. I love talking about housewives.
Yeah,
Somebody else that's passionate as me. Bye. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm glad that he came up. I've been literally trying to get him to come on here with me for a while. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. And it's been like 2 hours and 11 minutes. And you see the cat needs food. I have to go to the bathroom because I always have to pay. But guys, thank you so much. And if you're still listening, love you all. Thank you subscribing, listening. The comment section, I love you all, guys. You know that. And I appreciate you. And it's Wednesday, so I will see you on Friday. And listen, I'm thinking about doing Southern Hospitality with Leva. It is the new Vanderpump. I'm telling you, it is the new Vanderpump. Tell me you guys don't think so. And I am loving it. I'm loving Southern Hospitality. I just watched both episodes. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to do Beverly Hills on Friday. And I will see you then. And if I do, I can't talk. If I do Southern Hospitality, you guys will know. But I love you too. I love you too. I love you too. I know. I think it was a good one. I've been waiting to have him on to talk to him about stuff, about like all these housewives, because we both watch, like we're very invested. I know he knows the stuff that like with Dana and stuff. So I'm going to link his channel and I'm going to make sure it stays in my descriptions. And I love you guys. If I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you on Friday. Aaron, we'll talk in a little bit about Friday night. I think maybe we'll do it. But what's the name of Norma's thing? Elise something. Not something. Aaron will say. I will call you. I am have to go to the bathroom. All right, guys. I will see you all later. Sorry I couldn't get back on Instagram. It's like I'll try again Friday.